Okay, now take two. Don't know why that did that. That's really strange. Thanks for the heads up, Travis. Appreciate that very much. Anyway, welcome to Stripe Stream number 12. Seems odd. This season is going by just like so fast. Games are just flying by, and I'm hoping I won't have any problems on the stream tonight. We've got a heck of a system moving in. As I'm doing this, I guess they're saying that the temperature could drop 20, 30 degrees, wind chill even more, and of course, chance for accumulation of ice, which of course means potential to lose power. So hopefully I don't have that problem. But if you are in the Cincinnati general area or whatever, it sounds like more or less that things are going to start getting real bad real soon. And I live fairly close to a fire station, and I've been out here for about 20 minutes getting things set up and, ringing the bell on social media and stuff like that. And it doesn't sound good. I've heard the fire trucks go out at least a few times already in just in the past 20, 25 minutes. So if you're out there, please be safe. So, moving on. So again, welcome to Way of the Dad, doing Cincy Stripe Stream number 12. And eventually I will move this to its own channel, as I said. Trying to remember what I said before the microphone was on. Travis, thanks for the heads up. Got a little bit. I haven't really had a chance to do much work on the background. That's why I've still got the green, or well, it's not green screen, but it's an overlay right now. Still got that going on. But I do have something I want to point out tonight. And for Travis, since you didn't see it last time, there's the Eric Davis bobblehead, or well, Funko Pop. Sorry, not bobblehead, Funko Pop that you gave me. And there's the let's see if I can do this. So Travis donated to the show, again, seems like, but I appreciate it very much. This is I'll try to show you here. Cincinnati Bengals football made out of, it looks like it's just made out of wood, but it's actually carved out of a bowling pin. So obviously wood, but a pretty hard wood. Really cool looking, and it does sit nicely on the shelf. Travis, you were correct. Eventually I'll have maybe, I don't know, bookends or something that, will hold this stuff up. We'll see. Of course, when I get this side over here done, the shelf that I'm putting over here, some things might go over there too. So we'll see about that. Let's see. Any other big news? I am going to be the Christmas weekend, and then of course being off on Monday for the next couple weeks for my day job. That might help me. I've been I haven't had a lot of other videos because I'm I don't want to say I'm retooling, but I guess I was kind of taking a little time to do a little self-scouting on myself and my channel, and what I want to do on this channel. I've always had some thoughts, and I've gotten away from some things that I actually want to get back to. So you're going to see, besides the Bengals stuff, more... That's just annoying. Anyway, you're going to see some more content that relates to being a parent or a dad specifically. Well, and apparently OBS disconnected and reconnected, so that's awesome. Anyway, so I don't know why OBS disconnected and reconnected, but apparently it's sorted itself out now. Hopefully, I don't have any more issues with it. But in the interest of that, I'm going to get right down to business. So, first order of business. I already did all that. So, what is the drink of choice tonight? Oh, them's are ice cubes. So, going with the good stuff tonight. And tonight I have what's left, because there's not a lot left, of Maker's Mark, recipe number 46, which is French oaked, so it's their standard bourbon. But it is finished with 10 virgin French oak staves. Adds extra wood spice, bolder notes of vanilla and caramel, and a longer finish. They're saying it was stave profile number 46 that did the trick. I guess that's why they call it 46. So anyway, but then they call it Bill's recipe number 46. So I don't know. And got a nice little story on here from Bill Samuels Jr., son of the founders. But it is quite delicious. So I'm going to pour some of this tonight. And considering it's pretty cold out in Way of the Dad partially converted Toolshed Studios, this will help keep me nice and toasty. So there we go. Drink is poured. Cheers. Tagai. Yes, that's delicious. Very easy to drink. I like Maker's Mark in general, but this is a nice one. So, if you'll notice, I do have the Cincy hat on. I did get it in the mail, literally the day after. So last Friday, Friday right after the stream. The very next day I got it. So, but I actually like it. It's grown on me a little bit. It's not the kind of hat I normally wear. It is a snapback design. And it does have the more, let me turn my head to the side here. It's got the more like squared front profile. That's not usually my style. If you see the hats I wear, I typically like more of the rounded style, and that doesn't flare out on the sides. It's kind of rounded all around. You know, fits my head profile, and I just like it a little better. Kind of fits. It's almost like having a beanie but a baseball cap on. And these ones here, these have these big fronts. That's not usually my style. I was a little worried about that when I ordered this, but you know, it's not that bad. It's really not. It kind of surprised me. And the way it comes, I guess you could, well, that's weird. You could like, if you're into the flat bill, it comes fairly flat. I mean, it's not a true flat bill. I'm not into the flat bill thing. I don't know. That's my generation. That's how I grew up. I don't do the flat bill. I don't know why I don't like it. But I am repping that. Did throw some of my money in the pot to help out Ted Karras's charity that the Cincy hat supports. And it's just trying to get people food that need it, food and housing, if I remember correctly. Let's see here. Where did I read it? I know I've read this before. I probably read it about 12 times, to be honest with you. 100% of the proceeds from the Cincy hat sales, I'm reading directly off the website, by the way, will go directly to the village of Marisi as they provide the services, coaching, and independent housing to adults with disabilities. So, sorry, not food, but it's services and coaching. So anyway, so yeah, I'm repping that tonight, and we're gonna dive right on in and make sure I don't mess up my stream here. There we go. Okay, so we've got we had a pretty big game against some guy. Uh, his name's Tom Brady, or I don't know. Supposedly he farms goats or something. I don't know what it is. Yeah. So uh, it was the goat, and leading up to this game, I honestly started getting really tired of all the um, you know, oh, is it the new goat versus the old goat, or the goat versus the one who wants to be the goat, blah blah blah, and it's Burrow and Brady and blah blah blah. Some of it I understand because I have compared Burrow to Brady before. Not talking about the resume, but I'm talking about the style of play. The way they There are times when I've seen Burrow sitting back in the pocket, which has happened mostly only this year, by the way. Um, when he's actually had time to sit back in the pocket, and he just looks like Brady. He's back there. He's got, at least if you believe, gosh, who is it that does the quarterback school? Um, JT O'Sullivan. QB school. Yeah, it is JT O'Sullivan. That's right. If you believe him, Burrow's back there. He's got that good wide planted stance. He's not clicking his heels and things like that, and he looks a lot like Brady. Just waiting, waiting, waiting. Boom, you know, go, go send it off. Um, and just being back there, being kind of like a little bit of an assassin, just waiting for a shot and taking it. So I've compared him to Brady before. However, um, I don't, some people they want to put Burrow in a place that he's not at, not because he couldn't maybe get there one day, but it's really unfair to compare anybody to Brady because until it becomes a thing where, um, getting 7 Super Bowls, appearing in, what was it, 10? Been to 10, right? I think he's been to 10. Um, Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong on that one, but I think it's 10. I think he's been to 10, won 7, if I remember correctly. It's hard to keep count, let's be honest. Um, you know, it's not fair to put that on him because how likely is that to happen in my lifetime? I'm 42. Let's just say I double, I get to 84. How likely is that to happen in my lifetime? It's unheard of in the NFL for any team to be that good. Not just, I mean, we're not even just talking about winning, you know, dominating your division for 2 decades. Dominating. That's not normal. Let alone, you know, appearing in 10 Super Bowls and winning 7. For the longest time, Joe Montana was the GOAT because he was in 4 and he won 4. That seems, no disrespect to Joe Montana, but it seems a little cute in comparison. It's just not normal. So, I don't know that I really enjoyed all that conversation. If you want to talk about comparing mechanics to mechanics and style to style, that's fine. You but I don't know. I just didn't like that, and I kind of got to the point where I was like, oh, please, can we get this damn game going? Because I'm tired of hearing all the comparisons. And then, of course, there's a lot of national media, not all, but a lot that, they don't want to believe that the Bengals are for real because the Bengals are the Bengals, the Bengals are the Bungles, blah, 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 blah. It's like some people are still living in the 90s or something. And and then, and then the game starts and we get the ball first, start marching right down the field, and then the tip ball monster rears its ugly head again. And so yeah, that was a problem. More tip balls. Although this one we've been getting lucky lately. This one actually landed in a, one of the defense's hands. And so started off with an interception that really seemed to throw the offense off their game for a little while. They seemed very disrupted. And they eventually got going, of course, but it was just really weird that they got so it just really shook up whatever their plan was, which and it shouldn't. It's just let's see, what did that end up being? I think that ended up being a field goal if I remember correctly. Yeah, just a field goal. And then the Bengals offense proceeded to punt one, two, three more times. And this is all through the first half. Um, and of course the Bucs proceeded to put on 2 touchdowns and of course that field goal off the turnover. So it was really strange. But as per usual with this team, you know, they're not done until they're done. The Browns game stands as a very strange outlier in that regard because they just never were able to get back in the game on that one. The first Browns game, I mean. But yeah, now it just really strange that something like that was able to get them off their marks. But of course, we all know they roared back, starting with that field goal last couple minutes of the first half, and then the defense started tuning up as they usually do, as they have been doing most of the year. They just keep tightening the screws on the opposing offense and getting better and better and changing and adjusting and all that stuff. And Lou Anarumo was back there just like mad scientist type stuff going on. I don't know what he's doing. But I love it because it's awesome. And this is a defense. We're down Trey Hendrickson to start, down Mike Hilton to start, and then didn't take very long before we lost Sam Hubbard. And that means you're running out. Was it Jeff Gunter? I think Jeff Gunter was out there, at least in rotation at defensive end. Osai was making a start because Hendrickson was out. And then we're still thin at corner. Jalen Davis was out, if I remember correctly. So Dax Hill was starting at Mike Hilton's spot. And then that means Trey Flowers is out there more than would be ideal. And and then Cam Taylor Britt. Did he go down the last game? I can't remember. Anyway, and the defense still plays out of their minds. I mean, I don't know what he's got going on back there. He's got the magic sauce going on. But what was great is, as per usual with this offense, once Joe got going, just watch out. It's like a locomotive that finally was able to get some steam underneath it. I mean, there's 4 touchdowns. I believe that was just 4, right? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4. And I mean, really being generous, spreading it around. Boyd, Higgins, and Chase all got one. It's the first time that all 3 of them have gotten a touchdown in the same game that I'm aware of. And then Mitchell Wilcox got one on a gorgeous, oh my God, that was a textbook, picture perfect play action fake. He fakes the handoff, boots out to the right side if you're looking at it from behind the O-line, boots off to the right side, and just nails Wilcox for a perfect touchdown. And what's even better is Wilcox is actually from the Tampa Bay area. That's where he grew up. So he got to score a touchdown in his hometown, more or less. I mean, it's not quite Tampa Bay, but outskirts. Even Drew Chrisman had a phenomenal punt, boomed the shit out of it, and we thought it went just because of the angle you're watching the TV at. We thought it went, um, out into the end zone, and actually it went outside, just at the 2-yard line. It's a phenomenal punt, excellent positioning. So I want to get into one more takeaway that I feel like it needs its own little room to breathe. Because quite frankly, I'm pissed off. So the defense was awesome. As I've already said, defense was awesome. But what pisses me off, and I was kind of amazed that it really irritated me the way it did, was all these national tool bags. And of course, after a win, what do I want to do? I want to, bathe in all of the stuff. The Burrow post game press conference, the Taylor post game press conference, the James Rapine on his Cincinnati Bengals talk does a great job getting quick little locker room interviews and things like that. And then, of course, come Monday, you get all the national media, and they're going to be going over all the games. And, of course, they get to the Bengals and Bucs game. And I'm not saying all, not even close, but a significant amount, a notable amount. It was almost criminally disrespectful. And it all started, and it was weird when I heard it the first time. It was just kind of like that thing you hear, and it's just like, that doesn't sound right, but you just kind of overlook it. And it was when Todd Bowles was talking about losing the game, and he's like, the Bucs versus the Bucs. Yeah. Yeah, the Bucs beat the Bucs. Right. Sure they did. Now, as a coach, I probably didn't care about that as much when he said it, because he's the coach. And he needs those guys to hold themselves accountable, and he needs them to know that this game didn't need to be lost like this, or, well, not to mention it's historic. Brady was 89-0 at home when he's led by 17. It's 89-1 now. So shove that in your pipe and smoke it. But when Todd Bowles says it, that's fine. He's the head coach. He needs everybody to know it's, there's going to be a lot of crow getting served. There's going to be a lot of humble pie to follow it up, things like that. That's fine. But when you hear these national news media, these national sports talking, flapping heads, it's really, really disrespectful to the Bengals defense and what they did to help win the game. I mean, if you watch the game, and of course, if you're a Bengals fan, I assume you probably did. Of course, if you're not a Bengals fan, maybe you didn't watch the game, but I highly recommend you do, because it's really, really easy to see that this game wasn't just handed. It wasn't just handed to the Bengals like, oh, well, we just really suck, and we're just going to go into sucky mode and hand you the ball and let you beat us, and then we're going to act like we don't know why, and, hands in the air, what's going on? Bullshit. Out of the 5 turnovers that definitely made a difference, and I say turnovers, I'm going to call them all turnovers, okay? Let's go through them. Let's go through them in order. Well, I don't know if I can do it in order. I know them all, but I don't think it tells me. There's a turnover and downs. Yeah, okay, whatever. Anyway, So, first, we have the turnover on downs, which is a turnover. They tried to run a fake punt. Well, I should say this. Somebody on there, the long snapper thought they were going to run a fake punt. There has been a lot of speculation about whether it was intended to be a fake punt. Gio Bernard, former Bengal, God love that guy, was out there as the personal protector, who's the person is basically the quarterback of the punt team in a way, because he can call for a fake or he can call for a regular punt. He did not look like he thought that ball was coming to him in any way, shape, or form, and virtually everybody acted like everybody else seemed like they thought it was going to be a fake. He did not. A lot of people think that he probably waved it off once he saw the formation that the Bengals were in, and there's a lot of discussion about that. But that is an error on them. That's all it is. That's an error on them. It's not like they tried to hand it to us. It's not like they just communication was bad. So we can call that a gift to the Bengals. Bengals didn't exactly force that. It just happened. Right? So let's go to the next one. This is 2 of 5. The interception, Trey Flowers. That was earned. Nothing was given there. If you watch that play, and apparently there's some information that's come out about it, that they purposely ran Trey Flowers out there because they had been basically forcing a tell to Brady. So every time he saw Trey Flowers, he felt like he got the impression it was going to be this kind of coverage or this kind of whatever. And then they did something different with Trey Flowers out there. And then Trey Flowers literally makes one hell of a play on the ball. It wasn't handed to him. It wasn't like a fluky little tip job that just happened to land in his hand. No, he went out there, jumped in front, and got that ball. That's earned. So one gift, one earned, right? Let's go to the next one. Fumble. Now, I believe this is the, I can't remember which one happened first. I believe this is the Brady strip sack. And I don't know. I watched that play. Got to see even a couple replays in real time about it. Sure looked like Logan Wilson went in there, got his hand in there, and pushed the ball out of Brady's. Brady had it. Brady had it kind of locked up, and Logan Wilson got his hand in there and knocked it out. Isn't there a word we have for that? What's the word we have for that? It's not just fumble. It's almost like something I remember complaining about a couple weeks back when Jermaine Pratt made Travis Kelce fumble. What's that called? Oh, that's right. It's forced. National media didn't want to give Jermaine Pratt credit for that. They kind of almost disrespected both Pratt and Kelce at the same time by not calling it a forced fumble. Logan Wilson forces Tom Brady to fumble the ball. Tom Brady didn't just get like Butterfingers back there. Oh my God, No. It's a forced fumble. It's called a forced fumble for a reason. Bengals recover. 2 earned, 1 gift. Let's move along. We got the next fumble. This is the one where Brady was handing off to Leonard Fournette. Leonard Fournette, and I'm sorry, I don't even hold this one on Brady. Brady put it in his belly like he's supposed to. Fournette didn't handle it well. Fumbles the ball. Those happen in games, right? Now, we could also talk about momentum. Momentum matters. And in this case, momentum was probably starting to If you've ever seen the movie The Replacements with Keanu Reeves, one of my favorite football movies, by the way. Easy to watch too. Let's be honest, it's funny, you know, and it's the quicksand thing. It's things are going bad, and then another bad thing happens, and then another bad, and so whatever. So I kind of feel like maybe that's what happened there. Leonard Fournette is so worried about where the gap is at, where he's going to run to, what are his options, that he doesn't handle the ball well. And he fumbles it. Bengals recover it. So I'm going to give a half and half because Buccaneers could have recovered it. I mean, we've seen those balls go back the other way, go away from us plenty of times. So let's call that a half and half. We got 2.5 earned, 1.5 given. Last one. The last interception. Now this one was this one was 100% earned. Good Lord. I mean, this wasn't. Brady was throwing the ball, got lit up as he's throwing the ball. Gets hit back, which of course takes all the steam out of the ball he was trying to throw. And so it sails. And Jermaine Pratt is on the ground and somehow does not let that ball touch the ground as he catches it. Because in real time, I thought it was like, that probably touched the ground. And then they went through the replay, and it was like, holy crap, I don't know how he did it. Now, we can all make the complaint about Tony Romo and Nance. Romo and Nance were... it's almost like they didn't even want to believe that ball didn't hit the ground, even after they start showing some of the replays. But that's earned. 3.5 to 1.5. Yeah, those Bucs, they just they just beat themselves. It had nothing to do with the defense across from them, whooping their ass. Laying the wood to them, or what? That's not a good one. Beating the crap out of them. I mean, they kept turning up the pressure. They kept forcing Brady into bad situations, or forcing a bad pass, or they started getting more and more pressure on Brady, and he was feeling it. Give the defense their damn credit. I hated that. It burned me up just listening to this. I mean, it's just thorough disrespect. So, but it doesn't matter whether they disrespected us or not, because guess what? We still won, and that left us. What did that do for us? Well, hold on. Before I get there, I got a couple things that I did write down as room for improvement. The run game did not seem as good as it has been. Now, I do know that the Bucs do have a good line, a good D line, and it seems like they had a good D line because the running game, it almost seemed like it was working in spite of whatever that was they were doing. They couldn't get a lot of consistency there. They got some good runs, but it wasn't something they seemed like they were able to just capitalize on. It just didn't seem like it was there. And then, of course, the slow start thing, that was present for both sides of the ball, really. Not ideal. It'd be nice if they could it'd be nice if they could consistently get off to a faster start. Of course, don't let the tip drill happen. And the problem is we could all say, oh, let's just have Burrow start pump faking or double clutching the ball before he throws, but that throws his own timing off. That's something I think you need to practice. I could be wrong. Someone who's actually played quarterback could tell me, but it just seems like that's something that's now an extra thought process he has to throw in there that could interrupt his own timing. So maybe there's other ways to work around that. Make sure that the linemen stay more engaged. don't let the D linemen back off of them and get free and jump up. So, easier said than done, I'm sure, but I doubt Burrow is the only person that's ever dealt with this, so I imagine there is an answer that they're going to be working on. So, but at the end of the day, where did that leave us? That left us in first place in the AFC North. Hallelujah. God love it. Love it. Absolutely love it. And now we're, our pursuit of the first overall, our first seed, number 1 seed, is still alive. Of course, the Bills continue to keep on winning, even though they continue to not look good winning. Unfortunately, the Kansas City Chiefs keep winning, although they almost lost to the Texans. Now, it wasn't because, at least from what I saw of the game and what I read and what I was able to pick up, it's not like Patrick Mahomes necessarily played that bad, but it's like the Chiefs' defense played really damn bad. And they made the Texans' offense look pretty damn good. I mean, this is a 10-4 team. I think they're 10-4. Are they 10-4 or 11-4? Or 11-3? Whatever it is. Anyway, against a 1-11-1 team at the time, and I know they're probably 1-12-1 now, but like they almost lost to them. What the hell was going on with Chiefs defense? They take a vacation? So I'm hoping, continuing to hope that one of these teams can jump up and snatch one from the Chiefs. If the Bengals continue to handle their business for the next 3 weeks, then there's going to be a good decent chance that they're getting the number 1 seed and get that week of rest. And with the injuries that we've been having, probably could use it by then, and that would be just a great thing. Not to mention, ensure home field throughout the playoffs, as long as we continue to advance. And I mean, that's good for us. So the win just made sure that everything stayed in place, and we did get the benefit of the Ravens' loss. We were able to capitalize on that and take the first spot in the AFC North. Still got work to do though. So, alrighty. Please, by all means, this is not it's not meant to be a one-man show. If you've got questions, if you've got comments, throw those down in the chat. I will get to them. I don't have a problem addressing them. Look forward to it, quite frankly. And yeah, so just don't be shy. Don't be shy. Let's see here. Excuse me. It's been a long week. It's a strange day. Very gray and overcast and dreary here. Man. Let's see here. Okay. So, no, come back here. Come back here. All right. So, we'll go ahead and move along, and as I take a pause, and it's a really sad amount left, isn't it? And considering that I'm pretty sure I don't have to get up early for anything tomorrow if Mother Nature does what everybody and their brother thinks Mother Nature is about to do to this area. Don't know that I'm going to be going anywhere tomorrow. Of course, if any of you all have to go out, please be safe. The chance for ice is quite severe, so that's not good. Um, so yeah, be safe out there. Don't chance anything if you don't absolutely have to. At least until the salt trucks and stuff can really get there. You know, that's the problem in this area. Not that I've ever lived farther north, but I do know some people that have, and they kind of scoff at, oh my gosh, look what you guys lose your minds over an inch of snow or 2 inches of snow. Which, don't get me wrong, there's some truth to that. There are some people that lose their shit in this area about. I mean, heck, we have a part of the, for anybody who lives here will know exactly what I'm talking about. But for those who don't, going north in northern Kentucky, um, a lot of people think that that's just where, I don't know, Deliverance banjos start playing or some shit like that. Northern Kentucky is basically a suburb of Cincinnati. Some people may not like hearing that, but that's the truth. That's the geographical fact of it. But when you go north on 71 and 75, the two major highways that blend together for a short period of time in northern Kentucky, there's a place called Cut in the Hill, and it's literally you pass this exit called the Fort Wright exit, and then you basically start going way downhill towards the bridge that'll take you across the river and into Ohio, literally directly into downtown Cincinnati. I will tell you right now, if there are 4 drops of rain on the road that morning during rush hour traffic, guarantee you there is probably a jackknife semi on Cut in the Hill, and shit shut down. And there's a hour backup of traffic. I mean, I mean, you get 3 raindrops fall and people lose their mind, pull their e-brakes, start turning their wheels from one side to the other randomly, and it's just pandemonium ensues. So yeah, when there's an inch or two of snow, you can only imagine what that's like, right? You either have people who are going 3 miles an hour on the highway, even if it's been properly plowed and pre-salted, or you've got the guy with the jacked up, almost monster truck level jacked up, monster level tires, gigantic 12-inch diesel pipe exhaust coming out of the truck bed and everything, going 95 miles an hour by you when everybody else is just trying to crawl along. It's always one or the other. There's no in between. There's no middle ground. And that's the damn truth. So, you know, be safe. Because the problem here is ice. It's not the snow. We don't get snow like the Northerners do. But we live on this kind of the ice line, the freezing line. And unfortunately, here in Northern Kentucky, even southwestern Ohio, Cincinnati, and the surrounding areas, they have a lot of topography. So do we here in Kentucky. We have a lot of topography. So the problem is it's not just, oh, what's the big deal? It's what's the big deal if you start sliding, you go off the side of the road, you might go down a hill. That's the problem. It's hard to manage that. So, if you do have to go out, please be safe. All right? I'm refilled for the next round. Let's roll. That is good. That is really tasty. Not gonna lie. All right. So Travis got a comment. Bengals 17, Patriots 10. Okay. I'll let you know what I think here in a little bit. Interesting. And it is interesting. So we're going to get into the Patriots talk now, obviously. And of course, they lost in the dumbest fashion I've seen in a long time. And I'm a Bengals fan. I've seen some dumbass losses. I've seen fluky losses. I've seen infuriating losses like the 15 loss to the Steelers in the playoffs when the defense, Pac-Man, Perfect, Hill. Damn it, what's his first name? Jeremy Hill. And it was like a symphony of fuck-ups and stupidity. I've seen that. I have never seen what the hell I saw at the end of the Raiders and Patriots game. I have never seen that in my life. I've seen desperation, multiple reverse lateral plays. I've seen that. And I've seen them go poorly. The part that blows my mind is, why in the hell were they doing that? You know? What the hell were they thinking? They were tied. It was going to go into overtime. Dumbest shit I've ever seen. And I'm pretty sure, I mean, I don't know, maybe someone could dig way in the archives of the NFL and find something dumber than that. But let's just put it this way. That's the dumbest thing that my eyes have ever beheld in a national football game. So, it does make you wonder, what does that do? What does that do to the Patriots? Now, this is a Bill Belichick coach team. I would be very surprised if this somehow just the team starts to crumble and fall apart. I do not think that's what will happen. But I do wonder how deflating that is. And it's not like they've had a banner year. I mean, come on. Let's see here. Let's move to this week. Week 16. I mean, they're 7-7. It's not like a... What the hell? Get that thing out of my face. God, NFL, what just... I don't want your gigantic videos to pop up when I'm looking at something. Thanks. It's not like they're having a terrible year, but they're not having a banner year either. And they're having a very scrappy type of year. And then there was a little while where Mac Jones was benched for Billy Zappi, who actually played okay, played decent. It's not like he looked a shit ton better than Mac Jones. And then they've got Matt Patricia, who's a defensive coordinator, as the offensive coordinator. The hell's that about? So it's just very strange. I don't know what they're doing up there. So I do wonder what that does to them. Couple keys I have to victory. They got to get the running game going in a consistent way. And that doesn't mean like, let's go back to 1985 and just run and 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 run. No. I mean, no offense. But if they run Mixon and P. Ryan and they're both getting like 8, 9, 10 yards a pop on average, well, shit. Yeah. Save Burrow. Just hand that shit off. That won't happen, by the way, but if it did, that's what I would do. Run it down their throats until they make you stop. But that's not what's going to happen. But what I'm getting at is, let's go back to that Wilcox touchdown. That Wilcox touchdown was created by the threat of the run. The run has to be a valid threat. And look, Mixon and P. Ryan, now okay. I don't know if Mixon is still at his peak. I think he could be, but it seems like sometimes the line doesn't, I don't know. They have trouble blocking the way they want to block or whatever. You know, I'm not sure. But Mixon is still a really good running back. P. Ryan is apparently a pretty damn good running back. P. Ryan runs a little harder, a little more north-south. Mixon likes to make guys miss, likes to get into that space. They have slightly different styles. That's okay. I don't mind that. I don't mind the different style. But they need the valid threat of the run. You got to have that threat exist. Because if not, then the defensive ends and any of the other rushers, whether it be a safety drop or linebacker blitz, they don't have to fear. They can just tee off. That's the problem. Everybody says, well, just let Burrow throw it all the time. Yes, but no, that's the problem. Our O-line is better than it was last year. No doubt about it. It's not the best O-line in the past 30 years. It's just not. And a lot of times you see these O-lines winning, it's because they were able to fake the run or they were able to do some play action. And play action means it has to develop a little longer. So that has to work too. And it's all about misdirection. The offense shows this, defense bites, and then the offense does something else. Sometimes you just line your guys up and you just go play just head to head. My guy's better than your guy. That works sometimes. That's what that's what the Bengals did a lot last year. Not all, but a lot. Their guys were just better. But to be a consistent offense, you have to be able to make the defense worry about all facets of the offense, and that validly worry about them, validly think that, oh shit, they're going to run. Okay, we got to play the run, and things like that. And of course, with Burrow's mobility, his athletic ability to move, run when needed to, things like that. That's also a wonderful little, dagger in the back pocket type thing that you can just whip out and just stab him right in the soul anytime you need to. You can't overuse it, but when you do use it for maximum effect. So I do feel like they need to get consistent running going. And consistent in the sense of production. When they do run, it needs to be good. How do you do that? I don't know. Patriots defense is not the line is not bad. Now their secondary is not very good right now. They're pretty banged up in the secondary. Last time I heard, I could be wrong about that, but last time I heard they were banged up in the secondary. So I feel like if you can get that D line tired, well, that just allows you to tee off even harder on the pass game. The other side of this, and we saw this a little bit in the Tampa Bay game, at least initially. Eventually, the pressure started getting home to Brady, but you got to pressure Mac Jones. Make him make mistakes. You've got to force him to make mistakes. And that makes my desk make noises. So whatever. You've got to make Mac Jones make mistakes. And the best way to make a quarterback make mistakes is to pressure. So that's what I'll do. There we go. So, if you can pressure Mac Jones, I think that's the key to the defensive side of winning the game. Key to the offensive side, I believe, is getting some consistent running going. It doesn't need to be, Adrian Peterson level running. It just needs to be a valid threat. Now, if we can get some Adrian Peterson level running going, well, shit, go with that. If they're going to be that soft and let you run all over them all day long, hey, even get Trayvon Williams in there. Trayvon or Trayvon? Trayvon. That's going to annoy me now that I don't know. Trayvon. That's what I thought. So get Trayvon in there and let him get some valid carries too if they're that soft on the run. That way you save P. Ryan and save Mixon some juice. We're getting late into the season. We can't go beating the crap out of everybody. So, but I feel like that's probably the keys to the win. Now, my score projection. Travis, you ready for this? Um, they're giving the Bengals 3.5. I think that's how I say it. Um, which is interesting. They're giving a road team 3.5 points, which I mean that's probably appropriate. They're properly respecting the better team coming into another team. So, um, normally when it's even, they give the home team. No, not even, but they usually give the home team 3.5. A field goal advantage. In their home stadium. So that to me, that's almost like 7. Taking that 3.5 away from the Patriots and giving it to the Bengals, that's like 3.5 times 2, so that's 7. So my projection, I'm going to go Bengals 30, Patriots 20. I'm going to give them some credit. I don't think they're. I think they're going to be spending their time working hard this week. I think Bill Belichick's going to be, 12 feet up their colon, getting them back on track. But I do think that the Bengals are just better all around. The defense is better. The offense is better. I don't know. Maybe special teams is a push, but our special teams ain't bad. We've got a better kicker than they do, I'm pretty sure. So I'm going to say there's a 10-point spread here. I do feel like this game will probably be a little lower scoring. So, Travis, you're 17-10, maybe closer. I just feel like as long as there's not a blizzard of any kind, I think the Bengals are going to score some points. So that's where I'm at. 30, Bengals 30, Patriots 20. Bengals win, keeps the win streak alive, keeps us in contention for the number 1 seed, keeps that alive. I think they handle business and get back here for, that'd be the last 2 games of the season. That'd be the Patriots the Bills and the Ravens. So that's what I've got. What do you think? If you're watching, make sure you let me know. Whether you're watching the live stream or watching after the fact, please let me know. And I want to hear from you. And, let's talk about it. You leave a comment, I'll get back to you. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what you think about either the game prior with the Bucs, or what's going to happen this weekend with the Patriots. Or after the game, let me know what you think, since you can Monday morning quarterback me now. But I'd love to hear from you. Leave your comments. I am going to be getting some, hopefully getting some content going that I've had cooking in the back of my brain for a little while now. I've been pretty distracted between the holiday season, working on this background behind me, which is coming together, and I'm happy with it. I'm happy with my swag, trinkets. I don't know. What do you call that? I am happy with it, though. I've got my signed ISOM #1 from Eric July, or otherwise known as Young Ripa 59 on YouTube. He's gone independent as a comic creator, and I have not had the time to break into it yet, but I have looked at some of the artwork, and I mean, it looks great. It looks phenomenal. Brings me back to my days when I was collecting comics back in the 90s. So anyway, yeah, so that'll do it for today, and or for tonight. And please, if you're out there in the Cincy area or any other area that's been hit by this storm, I know Indy was hit pretty bad. I imagine that means most of Indiana's been touched by this, and Illinois and things like that. So obviously, if you're out and you don't need to, if you don't need to be out, don't go out. Just stay in. Dig a little deeper into that pantry. Get a little creative with what you make for yourself if you've got the options. But if you don't got to go out, don't go out. It's not worth it. especially if there's ice involved. If it's just a little snow, that's fine. I get it. But if it's ice, it's not worth it. It's not worth your life or somebody else's. So, but that'll about do it for today. And until next time, Who-Dey. Take care and have a great day.